All right, so here we have my roommate. His name is Minh Bui. He's from Vietnam, and he's gonna expand a little bit on what it's like to live in Vietnam. So we'll start off with an easy one. What was your education like growing up? Where you did? First of all, where are you from? Tell us where you're from.
So, as he's in his introduction, I'm from Vietnam, and I live in Ho Chi Minh City, which is the most populous city in the country, which is also is an industrial center. Yeah. So, my education growing up was just very straightforward. I went to public school like any normal kid, but aside from that, I also go to English centers, which is a big thing in my country and other Asian countries because we value the importance of learning English. So I grew up doing that as well, which is why today I can speak, this kind of English. So that's my education growing up, and then uh, up until middle school, I have to do I would try to get into a prestigious school within the city, which is happens to be the most prestigious school in the city. I had to do an entrance exam. I got in. I got through middle school. I then had to do another entrance exam to go to that same school for high school. I passed. I went there again for a year, and then I'm here in Indy.
Now you're here. Growing up, when you would get sick and you went to the doctor, do you know if you would ever have to like pay for the doctor, or was it kind of like everyone kind of got the doctor paid for?
Well, every time I went to the doctor, say for get sick, or the few times when I was little, I went to the dentist. Well, most of the time the insurance covers most things, but there are some. I would say I don't know the subject very well, but I said there's some kind of fee that you still need to pay like on site. So yeah, we still need to pay.
Was it private insurance? Like your parents paid for the insurance like through their jobs or?
Yeah, it was a private insurance. My dad's company gives insurance to all their employees and their families.
Would you kind of describe what your dad's company does a little bit?
My dad's company is I would say gas and oil company, joint company. They work with oil rigs and all this stuff outside in the ocean.
Big company?
Yeah, it's kind of a big company. Yeah.
Lots of employees?
Also international ones.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Did you ever go to any like holiday parties or any sort of
With the company?
with the company? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I did
holiday
like
parties.
multiple occasions.
What kind of holidays do they celebrate in Vietnam?
Well, we have like Lunar New Year's, which is a big thing. Like every time the moon goes up high in the sky and it's a full moon, yeah, we call that Lunar New Year's.
Every full moon? Or
Not every full moon, just like the one that's near like the beginning of the year.
okay.
Chinese New Year's.
The first. There's Lunar New Year and Chinese New Year, two different things.
Skip that. And Mid Autumn Festival as well. That's the thing. You know, lots of children folklore goes around there, so it becomes like sort of like a national holiday as well. So there's usually companies holidays around that time too, and there's not for one for Christmas because not everyone is religious, and there's no summer one, no whatever, no spring, whatever.
Cool. What about your house? Like, where do you live? Would you kind of like give a little description of where it is in town, what surrounds you?
So we live in a pretty old and rundown apartment complex. We live on the fifth floor where we have one small balcony. We can't see anything out of that because there's another apartment complex next to it. And then my home has 5 rooms, so you count the bathroom.
Okay.
And
How many bedrooms?
2.
And then one bathroom. So what are the other two rooms? Dining room and
The
living
living
room?
room and then kitchen/dining room.
Okay. What about like your air quality outside? Kind of give. You said you live in an industrialized city, right? It's very industrial.
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
industrial. So the air quality is, bottom line, very terrible, disgusting. You can't breathe in it. It's impossible.
Can you describe it a little bit? Like what would it be like? Like just thick? Is it just? Does it just smell bad? Is it very?
So, as you know, I go to a public school, and I go to school by bike. That means I spend the majority of my time traveling on the road. And every time I go out, I naturally have to be behind other vehicles, which in this case is mostly trucks and other motorcycles, motorbikes. And then, yeah, they give a lot of exhaust, and you kind of sniff a lot of that stuff in. And it's a miracle I haven't got cancer yet.
Did you walk around with a mask ever? Like, if you went outside, would you wear a mask?
Since I was little.
You would always wear a mask.
Yeah, if I go somewhere there's a lot of people, I have to always wear a mask.
That was normal.
Yeah, that was normal.
So when COVID came, it really wasn't a change at all?
No.
You had mentioned, oh shoot, oh, the roads, yeah, you would ride your bike on the roads. So what other types of cars, vehicles, anything, what were on the roads?
Well, I've seen normal cars around, four wheels, and like with big cars, vans, trucks, motorcycles, other motorcycles, tricycles, three-wheel motorcycles.
Ever any, like, luxury cars?
I've seen like a good one or two Lamborghinis around.
Really?
And Porsches, I think that's what it is. Yeah, Porsche.
But super rare, like only one or two.
BMWs.
More common?
I mean, there's less. BMWs were more common among the luxurious cars, but yeah.
Okay, but
most of them are normal cars.
But you could still see some luxury cars every now and then. What about like groceries? Where'd you go? How far was the grocery stores from you? Was there a lot of groceries when you went into the grocery store? Was there a lot of diversity? Could you get a lot of different things, or?
There are two grocery stores near where I live. 5 minutes of walking.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, you could find those things when you're walking. You find vegetables. You find bleach.
When you're walking?
But in the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, your vegetable, your meat, your whatever, bleach, all sorts of household things.
What about like small businesses?
Most of them are coffee shops.
Coffee shops?
Yeah, there's two right next to them.
And those are like the actual buildings.
If you think that like this is the entrance to my house, I have one over here, one over here, one over there, one over there, one over across the street, one on another one across the street, another one over there,
Coffee shops?
Yes.
Oh wow, coffee shops are everywhere.
So there's like 10 of them.
And then I had heard you mention there's a bunch of street vendors all along like your streets as well. Could you kind of describe that a little bit?
Well, they vary in like times. Some of them set up shop in the day and the night, but most of them set up shop in the night. And they mostly sell, just like food that people could just grab a bite and then go. Like sandwiches, rice, sticky rice, whatever you want to call it. Porridge, and pho. Oatmeal, which is also another kind of vermicelli stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And fish balls.
So busy streets.
Yes.
Very busy streets.
Like you'd say, if a street has like, if there's a corner, there's a street vendor.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What about homeless people?
There's a lot of them.
A lot?
Yeah, you just mostly see them under bridges.
What about like things you can do if you wanted to go roller skating? If you wanted to go, what are there things to do that are fun, like in your town?
Well, if you're talking outside activities, there's a canal near my house, and there's like sidewalk along the canal. And since the canal is not a pretty sight, we just usually do whatever there's on the sidewalk. So people, ride their elderly people ride their bikes. There are some kids who do their roller skating, whatever. Some of them have, roller skates.
What about any sort of like just a place you go to have fun? Like, I don't know, maybe a roller coaster park or a trampoline park or an arcade.
That sidewalk is also a park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it also counts as a park. Though it's very narrow. It's about the width is about the size of this damn room.
And that's the park?
Yeah. But it goes along the canal, so. And as for arcades, there's not one near. So if I want to like go to a proper arcades, I have to go a little bit further to District 7, which is 30 minutes of driving.
Oh wow. And your states for your country, they're basically called districts, right? That's how they work?
It's just within the city. So
Oh, that's just within the city?
yeah.
How big is the city? City must be huge then. If there's 7 districts?
No, there's districts. There are 31.
31 districts in your one city?
Yeah, 13 are numbered. The rest are names.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's huge.
I mean, it is the biggest city in the country. But yeah. It's not even the capital. The capital is up north.
Wow.
Yours are just the biggest city in the country.
Do you know how many people are in
About 8 million.
8 million are just in your city?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very big.
I live in District 1, and then the rest are just scattered.
Wow. Okay, we're almost about done here. When you went to school, especially the public school, before you went to the private school, or both of them at the whatever, did they constantly need donations? Did they need a lot of money to run? Were you having to do like fundraisers? Like, did you guys ever go on field trips or anything like that?
So we do go on field trips occasionally. There's I'd say one every semester where they would just organize a trip that students can just sign up, sign up and go to. Usually, it's some sort of fundraising activity or something that's just purely for fun. I went through some of them.
And then did you have to you basically would fundraise to go on those school trips?
No, they would use the money we paid to, do whatever. So most of the trips we go to, like historical sites, temples for some reason.
Oh, okay.
We do like have some kind of charity work there. And then they have activities for the students, like hang out on the beach. On the beach, most of the times on the beach. Too many beaches.
There's a lot of beaches.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I think we'll finish it up with. Do you know a decent amount, or at least more than I know about our government? Would you kind of give a little description of your government?
No, not to mean anything bad, but our country is communist. It's even in the name. It's not the unofficial name that we get up to the international society, but the official name of the country has communism in it. And as for how it is, it's not very apparent.
What do you mean? The communism is not very apparent, or the government isn't very apparent?
I don't know. Communism usually means that people, it's just around the idea of, but for the people, by the people, whatever.
Well, I'm thinking more like corruption. Could you describe like kind of some corruption amongst the government? Is it easy to bribe a police officer? Is there plenty of scandals and embezzling as you go up and up in the...
So, as for the police, they're not corrupt. They're just poor.
Oh, okay.
So most of them are just give you unreasonable prices when you go a little bit over the speed limit. And as for the federal government, they I would not say they're corrupt. They're just useless.
Useless?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, they make very bad decisions.
Could you give an example?
With the recent COVID uprising, even by the beginning when there's like an outburst, lots of people get sick. They throw a lot of people in the same place.
Mm.
And they perhaps think that was a good idea to, a lot of people sick in the same place. Isolation. Well, it spares the other people, right? No. They get worse. They die. And then they give some sort of, fake number, like, not a lot of people died. And then you give up to the United Nations, like, we did not have a lot of people die. We contained it completely.
So they lie about their numbers and how they work and...
the number they lied about and then the actual number isn't that much of a difference, to be honest. We still somehow did a good job containing it for some reason. But
With
yeah,
8 million people.
there's
in
still a
the
degree
field.
of lying.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as Fox News over there, so cool.
Well, on a happy note, would you like to add anything that is left to be known about Vietnam as far as just your experience growing up there?
Well, it's a pretty nice place. It's cozy. You don't get a lot of, discrimination over there.
Oh,
Everyone gets along well. That's it for some individuals. Yeah, school life's great. Work life with COVID not so well, but even before COVID, it was nice. People actually get jobs. Homeless people are still there, but life is. No, we're a Asian country, we're a third world country. We don't get paid a lot, but we still live a comfy life. We don't have guns, so I think that we don't get shot to death. We get stabbed to death.
oh, okay.
So it's a pretty nice place to live if you can get by with wearing a mask 24/7 when we go outside, and you actually go outside, and then it's a pretty nice place.
Yeah, weather's good. Average weather temperatures there, what, 90?
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day, it smells like Britain.
Smells like what?
Britain.
Britain.
We rain at random times.
Well, alrighty. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.